I'm back with a book haul. Quick thing before I get into my June book haul, I recently, I kid you not, last week, just posted my May book haul. Based off the timeline in which I'm uploading these videos, it may seem like I just got books last week. I had actually, though, all the books in my May book haul, or the majority of them, I had ordered at the end of April and filmed my video at the beginning of May, but was just really lazy and didn't upload it to the end of May. So it's actually been a few weeks, alright, since I've gotten some books. So let's get into this book haul. The first book that I actually got today at my library for $3, Conversion by Catherine Howie, or Howie. This book sounds so cool, you guys. Okay, so this book takes place in a school. It's about a girl who's, just your average girl going to high school, dealing with your typical high school stuff. Suddenly, people start getting sick, and especially the girls, I think it's just the girls in the school start getting sick, their hair starts falling out, they start getting fevers, they go into spasms, stuff starts happening, weird stuff starts happening, and our main character is actually reading The Crucible at school, and she makes this connection that this same sort of epidemic thing that's happening right now in her school happened 3 centuries ago, and that the current town she's living in was actually the Salem village, the Salem witch trials. That's terrifying! And this is probably one of the best bargain books I think I've got. A hardback for $3, you cannot pass that up. Alright, the next book that I got that I mentioned in my previous video, I got from my booktube friend, Anna. Anna is awesome. I actually just discovered that we live an hour from each other. Her YouTube channel is Unquenchable Reads. I will link her YouTube channel down below. We went to an event together, which will lead me into my next book that I got. But she bought this book for me, and Anna, I owe you my soul. Literally, I've already read this book. I read it the day I got it. It only took me about 48 hours to read this book. I am currently on the second book, A Court of Mist and Fury, which I got an ebook form because I literally could not wait to go to the store and buy the second book. But I will save my full thoughts for my wrap-up for this month, but just know that this book killed me, and thank you so much, Anna. I owe you my life. In my past life, I literally must have saved your life or something for you to have done such an amazing deed of giving me this book. It was amazing. You guys don't know how hard it was to avoid spoilers for this book and the second book. That's why I didn't really tell anybody I was reading it until after I finished it. And I'm halfway through the second book, and I'm not going to talk about it anymore because it makes me sad. Moving on, the next book I got, and which I've already read, again, I actually got to meet the author. He came to my local Barnes & Nobles, and it was the most surreal experience for me because his book series is amazing. It is The Last Star by Rick Yancey. Oh my god! I am happy that this series has concluded. The Last Star is the last book in the 5th Wave series, which is about an alien apocalypse sort of thing, but it's so much more than that, and it's amazing, and it's the best alien book I've ever read, and it got so deep and psychological. And he signed it! Do you see that? It says to Naya, Rick Yancey. I just realized I didn't tell you guys what this book is about here. This book is a little slice of heaven, and it's one of the most amazing fantasy books I've ever read. Literally, it's up there. I mean, obviously it's the same author, Sarah J. Maas, but it is up there with the Throne of Glass series, if not a little bit above it, because it was so amazing. Oh, I love it so much. But anyways, yes, I got these 2 books, and I will gently place them on the ground. This next book was a total surprise, and it made my day. I was having a really bad day. It was really stressful. It was finals for me. But this book came in the mail from St. Martin's Press. Thank you so much to them. I was not expecting this at all. I didn't even know this book was coming out, and I'm freaking out because I have it and it's amazing. Let me tell you what the book is. So the package said open me, and then it said read me, and then it came with this little letter written by Marissa Meyer. What? Marissa Meyer had another book coming out? Heartless. Heartless. Let me take this out of the package. I got an arc of Heartless, which is Marissa Meyer's new series, or I'm not sure if it's a series or a standalone, but it is a retelling of Alice in Wonderland. You guys know Alice in Wonderland retellings have like a place in my heart. I love them so much. They're my favorite retellings, and Marissa Meyer, she has already done retellings for all of like the princesses in her Lunar Chronicles series, and she is like one of my favorite retelling story writing authors. Heartless does not come out until November. It's like so far in advance. I didn't even know about this book, and the fact that there's already arcs out for it and that they were so kind to send it to me, I just feel so honored, and just thank you so much. I cannot wait to read this one. I have so many great books to read now, and I'm just like, oh my god! Okay, I'm trying not to damage the book because it's so beautiful. So the next bunch of books I actually ordered myself. I just finished reading The Raven King, the last book in the Raven Boys or Raven Cycle series by Maggie Stiefvater. It is my favorite book. I have, like, there's a first place for me, my favorite book of all times, and that's Shatter Me, but Shatter Me and The Raven Cycle are like this. They're like both hold #1 place in my heart. The Raven Cycle is such like a personal book for me. Like, I was able to connect with it on a level that was just like no other book I've ever been able to feel a certain way or feel this way reading it. It's something more. It's something more. I'm stealing that from the book, that line. It is something more, and it is beautiful. So I actually gave the first 3 books that I had in paperback to a friend because they were really kind of bent up for me reading them, and I love the series so much, and normally I don't really care about whether it's paperback or hardback. I have books that I don't really care about the quality of the book as long as it's legible, but because this book series is like so important to me, I wanted to rebuy it in hardback so I could have it forever and ever and hopefully get them signed one day by the author. So I rebought the first 3 books. Now I have all 4 books in hardback, and they're so beautiful and they're bringing back memories, so I'm gonna quickly like just get past this one because I'm gonna start crying if I don't. Now on to the books I got from Book Outlet. I have already opened the Book Outlet box. Thank you so much to Book Outlet. I mention this in all of my videos in which I do a Book Outlet haul. But I'm a vlogger friend on Book Outlet, so there'll be a link down below where you can check out my vlogger page where you can see all of these books that I got from Book Outlet and also previous books that I purchased from them. I did receive a gift card to get these books, and I'm just so thankful for that every time. But I did pick all of these books myself, and I'm so excited to read them. Alright, let's open this box. The first book I got is going to be my first Ernest Cline book, Armada. This book made a cycle around BookTube, I think, the last year. It was really popular, and of course, you guys know I'm always like on the end of the bandwagon when it comes to popular books. But Armada, oh my god, this sounded so cool. You guys know I love sci-fi and aliens and all that kind of stuff. So this book is about a boy who basically loves all of those things. He is an avid video game player. At night he plays this game called Armada, in which he is manning like a fighter plane protecting the Earth from aliens. This boy is somewhat of an introvert. I believe he might have some anger issues too, is what it said in the synopsis. But anyways, one day he spots in the sky a ship that looks exactly like the one in the game he plays, Armada. He gets, I guess, recruited to fight one of these ships and protect the Earth from aliens, just like in the video game, which is so cool and weird and reminds me of that movie with Adam Sandler in it that just came out. Next book, as you guys know, I love thrillers, I love suspense novels, I love mystery crime, so I couldn't pass this one up. It is What We Saw by Erin Hartzler, I believe that's how you pronounce it. This book is about a girl. She goes to a party. The next day she goes back to school, and there's these pictures of her going around, and she doesn't really remember what happened at the party, you know, what went on. But apparently a crime went down or something happened, and because of, I guess they were drinking or doing drugs or something, they just didn't remember. So it's a suspense crime thriller in which the characters kind of have to piece together what happened that night, and it just sounds so good, and the cover is so cool, and the title is amazing. Next book, oh my god, this book is by Rochelle Mead, okay, and this is something I've been wanting to read. It has been on my TBR list, like my actual one that I told you I lose all the time, but it's actually written down on there. It is Soundless by Rochelle Mead. Now, this book here is about a girl named Faye. She lives in a village, I believe, in sort of like a valley area surrounded by like a bunch of rocks and cliffs. She lives in a village in which everyone in the village is deaf or like cannot hear sound. Just that alone makes it sound so interesting and cool, just imagining, you know, how how the writing must be like, you know, not having hearing as one of the senses that they're describing, you know, using to describe the setting and things like that. Something's going wrong in the village and people are now losing their eyesight along with not being able to hear, which is crazy and terrifying. Faye has to go on this sort of journey or adventure to figure out what's going on. I believe there's magic involved, which, you know, whenever there's magic involved, it just makes things like 10 times better. It'll be my first Rochelle Mead book because I have not read the Vampire Academy series. I'm sorry, I'm a terrible person. One of my Bookstagram friends recommended it to me, and it is Until Friday Night by Abby Glines. This book, I believe, is told from two perspectives, but it follows two characters who've both lost family members in different ways. Both these characters are struggling and have just been affected very greatly by the loss that they had in their family. Both the characters had dreams or have dreams and are just struggling to get back to being sort of feeling normal after losing a family member, like losing their mom or their dad. So these characters meet one night at a party and they tell their stories to each other, and they find that they just, you know, they had all this stuff built up and they finally found someone who can kind of feel the same way that they do. And it's just, it's a contemporary book and it sounds beautiful and amazing and I want to read it, and I just, like I said, I have just been getting a lot of fantasy books I think lately, so I just needed at least one contemporary book to, you know, to satisfy the contemporary side of myself. Alright, and the last book in the box, I'm tossing the box on my bed. This book, I'm so excited. This book is, I believe, a memoir, I can never say that word. You know what? It's one of those books people write about themselves. Written by one of my favorite actresses. She's amazing. She's like such an inspiration and an idol to me. I love her so much. And it is Yes Please by Amy Poehler. Amy Poehler is one of the funniest comedians I have ever like watched on TV and television. Oh my god, I can't even. She's just amazing. If you don't know who she is, Google Amy Poehler and watch all the movies and TV shows that she was in. You will die. Until next time, keep reading and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!